Michael Torres checked his Uber app, and what he saw was about to change everything he thought he knew about fame. A 4.97-star driver named JB was 3 minutes away. But wait a minute. This wasn't just any Tuesday night ride. The 8th of September 2024, Los Angeles, West Hollywood. Michael was exhausted from his double shift at Cedar-Sinai Hospital. The black Toyota Camry pulled up. Baseball cap, sunglasses. Hoodie, just another LA driver trying to stay anonymous in the city of stars. But here is the thing. That driver had been doing this for 6 months, every single night. 6 p.m. to midnight. And nobody, absolutely, nobody had figured it out yet. Let me tell you how this all started. March 2024. Justin Bieber was sitting in his mansion in Beverly Hills, empty, quiet. Too quiet. His wife Haley had noticed something wrong for weeks. He had everything. The mansion, the cars, the success. But something was missing. Connection. Real human connection. That night Justin made a decision that his management team thought was absolutely insane. He called his accountant and bought a 2019 Toyota Camry, cash $18,000. Then he downloaded the Uber driver app. His team freaked out. Security said no. Lawyers said absolutely not. Insurance companies had a meltdown. But Justin didn't care. He created a fake profile. JB, 32 years old, part-time driver, needed extra money for student loans. The 1st of April 2024. His first ride. A college student named Maria going to UCLA. She got in the back seat and didn't even look up from her phone. Perfect. That ride changed something in Justin. For the first time in 15 years, someone treated him like a normal person. No screaming, no photos, no fake smiles. Just a simple thank you at the end. And here is where it gets interesting. Justin became obsessed. Every night, 6 hours. Different parts of LA downtown, Venice Beach, Koreatown, Silver Lake. He picked up everyone, students, nurses, teachers, bartenders, construction workers. His rating climbed. 4.89, then 4.92, then 4.97. People left reviews. Great conversation, clean car, safe driver, respectful. One passenger wrote exactly this. Jay is the most genuine driver I've ever had. Felt like talking to an old friend. Justin kept a journal, every single ride. He wrote down people's stories, their struggles, their dreams, their fears. May 2024. He picked up a single mother named Rosa. She worked 3 jobs. Her daughter wanted to be a singer, but they couldn't afford voice lessons. Justin listened. Really listened. The next day, an anonymous donation of $5,000 appeared in Rosa's bank account for singing lessons. June 2024, an elderly veteran named Robert got in. Heading to the VA hospital, couldn't afford his medication. 2 days later, Robert's pharmacy bill was paid. Anonymous, mysterious, unexplainable. July, August, September. The pattern continued. Justin wasn't just driving. He was becoming invisible, a ghost in his own city. And he loved it. Because for 6 months, nobody wanted anything from him. Nobody asked for autographs. Nobody filmed him. They just talked. But here's the crazy part. Some people almost figured it out. Almost. One passenger, a music producer, stared at Justin's hands on the steering wheel. The tattoos. He squinted but didn't say anything. Another passenger, a teenage girl, kept looking at the rearview mirror. Something about those eyes seemed familiar. But the disguise held. Justin's closest call happened in August. He picked up Scooter Braun's assistant, the woman who had literally worked with Justin for 10 years. She sat right behind him, talked on the phone about Justin Bieber for the entire 20-minute ride. Never recognized him, not once. But something else was happening during those 6 months. Something Justin didn't even realize at first. His music changed, completely. The songs he was writing in his home studio late at night, after his Uber shifts, they sounded different, raw, real. Honest. His producer couldn't understand it. Where is this coming from? It was coming from ride number 892. A woman named Patricia, who cried in the back seat about her son's suicide. From ride number 1203, a construction worker named Carlos, who explained what it meant to work 16 or days just to keep the lights on. From ride number 1756, a transgender teenager named Alex, who talked about being disowned by family, but still choosing to live authentically. Justin absorbed it all. Every story, every pain, every triumph. He wasn't just driving people from point A to point B, he was collecting pieces of the human experience that his fame had stolen from him. His journal entries got longer, more detailed, more emotional. He started including quotes. Exact words passengers said, "Patricia, I just wish I had told him I loved him one more time. Carlos, my hands are destroyed, but my kids have food. That is all that matters. Alex, if I can't be myself, then what is the point of being alive?" These weren't just passengers anymore. They were teachers. And Justin was finally learning what it meant to be human again. He started noticing patterns. How many people were one paycheck away from homelessness? How many were battling addiction silently? How many were working jobs they hated just to survive? How many were completely alone in a city of 4 million people? The anonymous donations increased. June turned into July. July into August. Justin's accountant called him 3 times. The numbers don't make sense. Where is all this money going? Justin never answered those calls. By September, Justin had given away $340,000. Rent payments, medical bills, car repairs, grocery money, college tuition, funeral costs. All anonymous. All untraceable. All from a fake Uber driver named JB who technically made $47,000 in 6 months, but somehow was broke. His team started asking questions. Justin's behavior was strange. He was happier but distant. More grounded but secretive. He disappeared every night from 6 p.m. to midnight. No explanation. No location. Sharing. Just gone. Haley knew something was different. She would watch him come home at 12:30 a.m., exhausted but smiling. Really smiling. Not the celebrity smile. Not the Instagram smile. A real smile. The kind he hadn't had in years. One night she asked him directly, "Where do you go every night?" Justin almost told her. Almost. But he wanted to protect it. This secret was his. This invisible life was the only thing that felt completely real. Fast forward to the 8th of September, 2024. Michael Torres ordered his Uber at 11:47 p.m. night shift. At the hospital was brutal. 12 hours on his feet. ER nurse. Trauma cases. Gunshot wounds, overdoses, the worst humanity had to offer. That particular night had been especially rough. A 16-year-old kid came in with a heroin overdose. Michael saved his life. Narcan CPR, the whole desperate dance with death. The kid survived, but Michael was shattered. Because he saw himself in that kid 6 years ago. That could have been his corpse on the table. He slid into the back seat and closed his eyes. Too tired to make small talk. Too exhausted to care about anything except his bed. The driver pulled away from the curb. Smooth, careful, professional. The radio was playing something soft, not the usual Uber driver podcast or talk radio, actual music 3 minutes into the ride. Something happened. The car suddenly slowed down, pulled over, hazard lights on. Michael opened his eyes. What was happening? Was this a carjacking? His heart started racing. The driver turned around, took off his sunglasses, removed his baseball cap, and Michael's world stopped spinning. Justin Bieber. In the driver's seat, staring right at him. Michael thought he was hallucinating. The hospital shift was too long. He was seeing things. Sleep deprivation that had to be it. Justin's hands were shaking. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper. He had recognized Michael not from fame, not from social media, from somewhere else, somewhere impossible. 6 years ago, 2018, Michael Torres was a different person. He was on the streets, homeless, addicted, rock bottom. One night outside Skid Row, a young guy with a baseball cap had stopped, handed him $500 cash, no questions asked. No cameras, no sermon. Just help. Michael had used that money for rehab. The first step toward getting clean. That $500 saved his life. He always wondered who that stranger was. The face was blurry in his memory, but he never forgot that moment. And now that stranger was sitting in the driver's seat of an Uber. Justin Bieber, the same person. Justin's voice cracked. He remembered Michael too. The night in 2018, Skid Row, the hopeless look in Michael's eyes. Justin had been secretly visiting homeless encampments for years. Giving money, giving hope, never telling anyone. Michael couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, couldn't process what was happening. Justin explained everything. The 6 months of Uber driving, the hundreds of passengers, the need to feel human again, the journal full of stories, the anonymous donations, all of it. He pulled out his phone and showed Michael the journal entry from 2018. Page 47, Michael Torres, age 28, nurse before addiction, Skid Row. Gave $500. Hope he makes it. Michael started crying. Not dramatic Hollywood crying. Real crying. The kind that comes from 6 years of wondering if that moment was real or just a fever dream. Justin handed Michael an envelope. Inside was a letter, handwritten. It explained that Michael was passenger number 2847, the last one. Because tonight Justin had realized something, the experiment was over. He had found what he was looking for, connection. Real connection. Not with fans, not with celebrities, with regular people, with humans. With someone like Michael who had climbed out of hell and become exactly who he was meant to be. The letter also contained something else. A check, $50,000. Made out to Cedar Sinai Hospital or Department. In Michael's name for equipment. For equipment, for resources, for saving lives? Michael shook his head. This was too much. Too crazy. Too unbelievable. Justin smiled. The same smile from 6 years ago? And he said something that Michael would never forget. You saved yourself. I just gave you a push. Now you save people every single day. That deserves more than $500. That night, Justin drove Michael home. Not as JB, as himself. They talked for 2 hours in the driveway. About addiction, about fame, about loneliness, about finding purpose. The next morning, Justin deleted his Uber driver account. JB disappeared. 2847 rides, 6 months. 0 people recognized him. Mission accomplished. But here's what happened next. Michael couldn't keep the secret. He posted a video, told the whole story, showed the letter, showed the check. The video exploded. 5 million views in 12 hours. 20 million in 24 hours. 100 million in 1 week. Other passengers started coming forward. Wait, that was Justin Bieber. I gave him directions to my apartment. He helped me carry groceries. He listened to me cry about my divorce. The stories poured in. Hundreds of them. Justin had touched so many lives, quietly and visibly, genuinely. Ride number 438. A teacher named Linda, who talked about buying school supplies with her own money. 2 days later, $3,000 appeared in her account. Ride number 1654. A veteran named Marcus struggling with PTSD, anonymous therapy sessions paid for. Ride number 2109. A young artist named Sophia, who couldn't afford art supplies, a complete studio setup delivered to her door. No return address, no explanation. The patterns emerged, the invisible angel, the mystery donor. All traced back to JB, all traced back to Justin. TMZ tried to make it a scandal. Celebrity pretends to be Uber driver, puts passengers at risk, but the public wasn't having it. The comments section destroyed them. This is what real humanity looks like. This is what we need more of. The backlash against TMZ was instant. Brutal. Millions of people defended Justin. Celebrities joined in. Ellen DeGeneres posted, "This is the most beautiful thing I've heard all year." Dwayne Johnson shared the story. "This is what using your platform really means." Oprah called it a masterclass in humility. Justin gave one interview, just one. He sat down and explained everything. The loneliness of fame, the need to disappear. The journal full of strangers who became friends for 15 minutes. The interview went viral for one specific moment. When the reporter asked why he stopped, Justin's answer broke the internet. "Because I found what I was looking for. I remembered what it feels like to just be a person. Not a brand, not a product. Just someone who listens." He donated the entire 6 months of Uber earnings to homeless shelters in LA. Every penny $47,000. Tips included today that black Toyota Camry sits in a museum, the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles. Next to it is Justin's journal, 2847 entries. Stories of regular people living extraordinary lives. The exhibit opened in November 2024. Lines wrapped around the block. People waited 4 hours just to see the car, to read the journal entries, to understand what had happened. The museum reported record attendance. Over 500,000 visitors in the first month alone. People came from everywhere: Tokyo, London, São Paulo, just to witness proof that humanity still existed. The plaque reads exactly this: JB, Uber driver, March to September 2024, proof that fame means nothing without humanity. Michael Torres still works at Cedar Sinai, still saves lives, still remembers that night in the Uber. And on his keychain, he carries a small guitar pick, a gift from Justin, engraved with 3 words: stay human always. If this incredible story moved you, hit that subscribe button and smash that like. Share this with someone who needs to remember that kindness doesn't need an audience. Drop a comment about a time a stranger changed your life, and turn on notifications because more real stories are coming your way.